Okay, before I even start this video, look at those candles up there. Yeah, if they fall on my head and I burn my hair off, it's not my fault. Actually, it really is my fault. What's going on, you guys? So as you can tell from the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about how to start a journal. On my social medias, I'm constantly talking about how journaling has impacted my life and honestly changed the way I think about things. And this video is long overdue. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the way I started journaling. It's been 2 years since I actually started a journal, how to start a journal, how to keep consistent with your journal, and everything in between. And if you'd like more videos like this, be sure to like this video, subscribe, and let me know down in the comments what other videos you'd like to see. The first crucial piece of advice I have for you is to get a journal that looks aesthetically pleasing. Why? Because if you use a spiral notebook, it's ugly. If you spend your money on an actual journal that looks aesthetically pleasing to you, you are more likely to actually want to use it, rather than some really ugly notebook. At least for me, when I started to go to different bookstores or go to different spiritual shops in order to get my journals, I felt way better and more motivated to keep up with my journal because I was spending money on something that I actually like, rather than this. And I don't know about you, but I always like going back and looking at my journals, and spiral notebooks can get really messed up if you're putting them in storage, whereas a journal that's actually protected in the front won't. Number 2, stop treating your journal like it's an English assignment. I know this sounds weird, but I feel like a lot of people get turned off to the idea of journaling because they don't have a good relationship with writing. The only time I wrote things before getting a journal was in school, so it felt really odd to write, not necessarily in proper format. You don't need to be super proper in your journals. You don't need to be like, "Dear Diary." You don't need to write like that. All I do is I literally date the page at the top, and then I talk about my day, talk about the things that are on my mind. It does not even have to be grammatically correct. You can write about anything you want in your journal, and you don't want to treat it like an English assignment. Because what I've noticed with myself is the more journaling felt like a job, the less I wanted to do it. Number 3, learn how to incorporate it into your day and your schedule. You don't have to journal at one specific time. Personally, I like to journal in the mornings and at night, but that's after a really long time of journaling. At first, I literally just journaled once or twice a week, and that was perfectly okay for me. But if you're wanting to do daily journaling, I recommend starting out by picking one time of the day that you set aside to yourself to journal, whether it be the morning or right before you go to bed. And this allows you to develop a certain routine as to when you journal. So if you do have a party later on to go to, you journal right before you go to that party, or put measures in place to where you won't miss a day. And number 4, if you do miss a day, don't be too hard on yourself. Catch up your journal with what's going on in your life. Don't make it be a stressful thing. I feel like at one point in my life, I was super stressed about I have to journal every single day. It's one thing I had to do. But now in my life, it kind of comes naturally. It's something that I want to do. I look forward to journaling. So try to limit the pressure on yourself to be a certain way or journal about certain things, because some days are going to be super boring and all you want to say in your journal was today was pretty boring. I just laid in my bed and watched Netflix. And that's perfectly okay. I don't feel like every single day of your life has to be some Twilight Saga. You don't need to talk about everything in your life in your journal. And the next one, journal prompts or shadow work prompts. I'm going to make an entire video about how to start shadow work. Shadow work is something that really helped me with my spiritual journey. If you're feeling extra emotional or you don't know what to journal about, look up a journal prompt or a shadow work prompt. This is what I did at the beginning of my healing journey, and it really helped me think about certain things I do and kind of question my actions. And not only that, hold me accountable for the things that I was doing wrong. For example, compulsive lying. Being able to ask yourself questions about why you do certain things will allow you to recognize that pattern within yourself and change it. So look up certain journal prompts, write poetry in your journal, do something that makes you feel good in your journal. Number 6, I believe, I want to talk about to-do lists, because I also write to-do lists in my journal. And this is, again, to hold myself accountable for the things that I need to do. If I have a certain doctor appointment, I will write it in my journal. If I have certain goals or accomplishments that I want to meet, I write all of those in my journal as well as on a piece of paper, and I tape it to my mirror, just so that every day I'm looking at my goals and what I'm wanting to accomplish. And at first, when I wanted to start getting into journaling every day, I actually set a reminder on my phone. If you're very serious about wanting to start journaling every day and incorporating it into your routine, what helped me was just setting a daily alarm at 6 p.m. of hey, it's journal time. Now let's talk about hiding places for your journal. If you're still living with your parents or your siblings are really intrusive, make sure to put your journal in a place that nobody really knows about, or someone would have to like look through your room in order to get to. And if you're really paranoid about people reading your journal, just get one of those journals with like a lock on it. Good places that I hide my journal is like my sock drawer, my closet, under your bed, essentially somewhere where someone would have to like dig through your room in order to get to. And those are all my main tips about journaling, but for the rest of the video, I kind of want to talk about how journaling has impacted my life. I've been journaling consistently for about 2 years now. And when I first started journaling, it was the beginning of COVID. I started to work on myself a lot. I was extremely depressed, anxious. I was not in tune with my emotions at all. And I would always rely on other people to emotionally satisfy me. So whenever I was feeling a certain emotion, I would project that onto others. So another huge thing that journaling does is it allows you to regulate your own emotions. I always say, I used to be a huge oversharer. It's either I was like not talking to anyone at all, or I was completely oversharing and like trauma dumping on someone, and that's very unnecessary. So I always say, overshare to your journal. Your journal won't judge you. Your journal won't do any of that. You will judge you for what's in your journal, but is that really a bad thing? Or are you just allowing yourself to recognize the patterns that you may not want in your life anymore and the things that might not be serving you? And don't get me wrong, relying on other people to help you with your emotions sometimes is very necessary and healthy, but it becomes codependent and unhealthy when you're constantly relying on everyone else around you to regulate your emotions except yourself. So journaling essentially gave me an outlet, gave me a place where I could talk about my emotions and not be judged by anybody else but myself. And if I was judging my emotions, I'd have to go into, why am I judging those emotions and what feeling is that bringing up? What is that reminding me of, and why am I being so harsh on myself for feeling something? And that in turn has allowed me to let go of so many unhealthy coping mechanisms in my life. If you'd like a shadow work video, be sure to comment down below and be sure to like this video, subscribe, and let me know if you're gonna start your journal. I really hope this helped you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.